Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you are feeling good out there. I appreciate you stopping on in. Today, we are diving into a full album listen of Orpheus in Exile, also known as Orpheus in Exile, Songs of Vadim Kozin. Studio album by Marc Almond, released 2009, his 14th solo studio album. We're listening to this because this was suggested and sponsored by Andreas. Andreas, thank you so much for the request. Thank you so much for the support as well. I truly appreciate that. We've, of course, listened to a little Marc Almond here on the channel. Not a lot, but just a tiny bit. And we're diving into this one here. So, some background information here as I get everything kind of loaded up and pulled up here. From Andreas, he said that's a little bit of background on him. Almond was always a fan of Vadim Kozin. Used some of his songs on an earlier album as well. In 2009, he made a full album of Kozin's songs, this one, of course, self-financed by Almond and recorded in Russia with Russian musicians. Kozin's mother was a gypsy, so his music was a mixture of traditional Russian music and gypsy music. Kozin lived during the Stalin era and went to the Gulag for being openly homosexual. Kozin's lyrics are translated into English for Orpheus in Exile, which may not always be perfect, but makes it, of course, a very interesting listen. So, I'm excited to dive into this one. I will say, as I pull up all the information and, get everything lined up here for us for our listen, I have not been able to find the lyrics. I've been searching around before recording, and I'm still searching around right now, and I'm not able to find the lyrics for this album. I'm still looking through just to see if I can find something, and I'm having no luck at all. So I don't know if this might be just, unfortunately, a journey that ends up fruitless, but, we'll listen to the music regardless, and I'll still see if I can find anything as we kind of continue forward, but I'm not having any such luck, unfortunately. So with that in mind, we will move forward. We will begin with the first track here, which is going to be Boulevards of Magadan. We're traveling down these boulevards of, I'll walk this empty street down the boulevard of broken dreams where the city sleeps. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Take a walk. Boulevards of Magadan. Spilling my coffee.
You must have heard, I guess, the Yves Montand song. Parisian boulevards, the proud hymn. Well, Magadan boulevards, where I have lived long, they may be dearer to me than Yves to him. The tiger reigns, severe and isolated. The bear's domain that people used to dread, where blizzard burnt as snowfall suffocated, and icy endless winters froze us dead.
That's cool.
But the new city, beautiful and spacious, grew every day, despite snow and cold. And here it stands for future generations, embodiment of courage to behold. And while Montand sings boulevards of Paris and my Siberian home, I'm singing mine. Parisian splendor doesn't make me jealous. For me, my frosty land is fair and fine. But if one day I get to go and visit the Bologna Wood, Montmartre, Notre Dame, I will then pass them warm and hot hearty greetings from all the boulevards of Magadan.
That's a very like chanson.
I will then pass them warm and hearty greetings from all the boulevards of Magadan.
I love when I can't tell you what I'm expecting, but that was good. That was really, really cool. Okay, so you definitely get that very distinct Russian sound in here. And obviously, I don't have the lyrics. Even as I was listening, I was trying to see if I could find lyrics, even originally from Vadim. I can't find anything, unfortunately. But regardless, I like how you also have this chanson kind of sound in here, which he is mentioning Paris and different things as well. But of course, he's talking about these boulevards of Magadan. What a great voice, first of all, Almond has for this kind of music because he sounds so comfortable in here. I love what I my ignorant mind says is the accordion, but it's apparently going to be the bayan, the bayan, performed by Anatoly Ponomarev. And I love that sound in here because, yes, it's kind of an accordion-esque instrument. I'll bring you guys here up here real quick. Bayan, here you go. It's a chromatic button accordion developed in the Russian Empire in early 20th century. And I just think that sounds so cool. I love like the swing of the music. It has this perfect kind of like, it has the perfect stage for theater. And it seems like Almond takes full advantage of that. With the swing of everything, with the instrumentation, some really awesome piano. I really like the way that it's all structured here as well. And for some reason, like, it kind of reminds me a little bit of early Scott Walker. Maybe when he would sing more of like French chansons and stuff. So maybe this is kind of putting me in that same mindset. But this was a really cool track, and I love how it moves. It has a lot of tempo changes as well. Like, not a crazy amount, but the changes are there and notable. And I think it's really cool how it does make a difference in how the music moves and how it's all performed. Once again, I wish I could find some lyrics, but I'm even right now, I'm on this website just trying to find something. And I've been everywhere. I can't think of a place as of right now. I've not been. Like, I'm going through links, but nothing here has given me anything, even for this song. So, unfortunately, I can't say that I can find lyrics, but it sounded nice. I can leave it at that. It sounded, it was a cool song. I am curious though. Let's look up while we're searching for stuff. Let's look up Magadan. It's a town in Russia. Let's pull up some pictures. Let's get some imagery. Looks like a nice mountainside town. Look at that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Looks like a cold but cool city. Like cold like temperature. But look at the way that they plan that out. That's some city planning right there. Mask of Sorrow. Look at this. Now that is art. That should be an album cover somewhere. Look at that thing. Mask of Sorrow? That I've never heard of that. Mask of Sorrow. Huh. Look at that, guys. This is cool. I'm sorry, we're going off the beaten path, but it's a monument located on a hill above Magadan, Russia, commemorating the many prisoners who suffered and died in the Gulag prison camps. Would this also include Mr. Vadim? It was unveiled in 1996 with the help of the Russian government and financial contributions from several Russian cities. it looks so, that's such a great monument and a great piece of art. Wow. Huh. Huh. Okay. We're learning a little bit. Let's move on here into the next track, which is going to be Forgotten Tango. I imagined him for two. That's from something. That's a jazz song. But I can't think of what.
One shimmering night through my window blew a promise. Oh, how the jasmine blooms with intoxicating might. I was in love with you, I whispered humble words to you, for you had given me your heart that night. I played piano, you approached it and you said to me,
Love the piano playing.
to the bottom of my heart your love does flow. So when the years have passed, my love, you must remember me. Please don't forget our spring tango.
This is a jam.
Favorite song, forgotten by you, our spring tango. Raya zakryt, nie звучит. Moje lubię, тобой забытое весеннее танго.
That was a fun one. Okay, I love the groove of this one. And I love how Almond sounds in here. Like, I feel like this is a passion project. And not to discount any other work that he's performed, but this is an album of covers of someone else. So, there has to be some deep passion and inspiration behind it. And I think that, not knowing any of the original music from Kozin, I feel like this comes across so wonderfully inspired and just a love letter from Almond as well. And I think that his performance in here sounds so cool. I can't compare it, of course, but I think it sounds so cool how he's performing here. I wonder actually if I could. I don't know if could I find a performance from Kozin himself of this. While I look this up, I also love how it's just something that I'm always going to enjoy. But I love when whatever they say in the lyrics also comes through in the music itself. So when they mention the piano and of course the piano being played and being played, such a cool moment there. Works really, really cool and worked really well in there as well. Can I find it? It's a Melancholy piece. I don't want to hear Almond. I want to hear Kozin. See, there's an orchestra, The Forgotten Tango. I don't think it's from him directly, so I don't believe so. I was trying to try and find a comparison on this one. But I really enjoy the way the piano plays throughout. So on the piano here on the album, you're going to have that performed by Dmitry Sadkov and Oleg Anarin and Varvara Kalganova handling that. And can I tell you, you have someone credited here, Katya Straninsky, with translation of lyrics from the Russian. Would love to hear that. Now, luckily, I did find translation here for Forgotten Tango, so I do have some lyrics on this particular one. But I have to Google kind of every single song individually, which isn't a big deal, But just so you know, if you hear a little typing. Forgotten Tango, the night was luminous, white flowering clusters were bursting into the window. The bird cherry tree was in full bloom. Oh, how wonderfully it was blooming. I was so in love with you, was whispering shy, tender words to you. You gave me your heart that moonlit midnight. And the way that Almond sings this is deeply, deeply romantic as well. The grand piano was open. You stepped next to it and uttered, your love pierced my heart deeply. So after the years will go by, remember me. Don't forget my springtime tango. And of course, the piano hops to life at that moment. The spring has come, but you are not with me, my love. It was so wonderful to be with you, so nice. The grand piano is closed, and my favorite tango does no longer sound. The springtime tango forgotten by you. A little bit of a sad ending there. Let's remember this moment. Let's remember this passion, this love, and springtime comes around next time and nowhere to be found. But what a really, really fantastic track that one was. Let's move on to the next one here, which is My Fire. Let's see if we can find the lyrics to that while I do this.
Through the haze, my fire's burning, sparkling, melting into blue. Where the road will soon be turning, I will say goodbye to you. Where the road will soon be turning, I will say goodbye to you. Tie on me the shawl with trimming, light and lilac like the haze, like the shores ends we've been meeting, you and I these past few days. Like the shores ends we've been meeting, you and I these past few days. Someone will dispel my sorrow, draw me close and hold me tight. Someone will undo tomorrow this silk knot that you have tied. Someone will undo tomorrow this silk knot that you have tied. But when you caress another playful beauty, young and free, give her all your passion's ardor, and sometimes remember me.
Sometimes. At least remember me a little bit.
Through the haze, my fire's burning, sparkling, melting into blue. Where the road will soon be turning, I will say goodbye to you. Where the road will soon be turning, I will say goodbye to you. Night will pass and in the morning, from the love that came and went, will depart my gypsy yearning, with a faithful nomad tent. Will depart my gypsy yearning, with the faithful nomad tent.
I like how the track is entitled My Fire, and we're left with kind of the last embers of the dying fire at the very end, I love, once again, the way that he swings with the music. Almond just seems to have such a knack for that. And of course, coming from a rhythmically strong background of soft cell, he's going to have that. But it's cool to hear it in this particular context, in something more singer-songwriter and this kind of deep cultural aspect, and paying such homage and respect to Russian culture, specifically through Kozin's music here. And I think that once again, he sounds incredibly comfortable. I love the boy in here once again, and I think it just creates such this cool breathing like rhythm, inhale and exhale and swinging and the music here. And this one does have a little bit more of a love lost, a bitterness to it as well. I think that kind of at odds with Forgotten Tango, which to me is sweetly romantic, even though there's a little bit of a twist at the end. I think that this one just feels like, acceptance of our paths are diverging. We are not moving in the same line. And it was great for a moment, but this is where I turn. As he says in the lyrics, my turn's basically up ahead. See you later. I wish that this would last longer, but it seems that it is fated not to. And I think that emotion comes through in Almond's voice because he sings sweetly and tenderly, but there's also this feeling of this is it, and this is how it's going to be. And there's unfortunately nowhere for our relationship to go or to grow from this particular moment. And I think that he does a really fantastic job of kind of letting that be known. Unfortunately, this was one of the tracks I could not find any lyrics for. I tried really quickly, but I could not find anything on this one. Because everything I click, it basically brings me back to these articles here that I already have up the Wikipedia and such. Unfortunately, I wish I could have those. I mean, we can hear them as clear as day as when he's singing, because he sings with great clarity. We hear him talking about, like I said, that turn up ahead and how basically that's it. I just wish we had them so we could actually dive a little deeper into that. But it's okay. Let us move on to the next track here. I love so much to look into your eyes. I love these little jazzy touches, little lounge to it. Nice violin split.
I love so much to look into your eyes.
I love that little
They have
drum
the turquoise
fill.
of the southern skies. The enigmatic light that they are streaming reminds me of the stars' eternal beaming. I love so much to look into your eyes, your radiant eyes. I love so much the waving of your curves, as unpredictable as ocean swells.
That's seductive.
And their sweet scent so delicate and fragrant, exquisite perfume to a poor vagrant. I love so much the waving of your curves, your silky curves.
Great string section.
So much to look into your eyes, into your eyes.
This was a really good one. The use of spaces and pauses is really, really great in building tension. And the way that it's done here, the space in the very beginning, not very beginning, but like after the initial kind of markup there, is really well done because while Mark's singing in that isolation, he sings for a little bit longer than, in my mind, where I'd expect the beat, the groove, the music to come in. And I like how that kind of keeps me like holding. I'm like, okay, when's he going to come in? When's he going to come in? And then you hear the little ba, 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 ba. You just hear a little kick feathering on the drums there. Drummer here, by the way, is going to be Evgeny Kudryashov. And I love that little kick build up, that little feathering, and then back into it. This one has a deep, loungy kind of jazz quality to it, and I like that sound, and I think that it works really well in here because it really gives Almond center stage. Like you think of a typical lounge jazz singer. You think of like a typical idea of that, and yeah, let's put it up here. Almond's here. Almond's here. In the mix with the band, playing in this deep room, he's doing his thing. And I think that it has a certain intimacy, which still allows room for, a little bit of drama. People don't want to, well, let me not say people, but like when you go to like a jazz lounge and stuff like that, you don't just want background music. You want music that could be heard as background, or you could listen to it and really get something out of it. And I hope that this doesn't come across mean at all, but like in listening to this track from Almond, you could sit there and just, of course, put it on and have a pleasant sound in the back. But you could pay attention to it and you could hear some of that nuance. You could hear that piano. You could hear Almond's great singing and the way he holds things. And I'm going to pull up the music here really quick as well. One part I really liked here was near the end. I like the orchestra swinging in there. Really cool. Let me see if I can find this. There.
I love so much the waving of your curves, your silky.
That. I like how that's almost a bringing back of the initial pause and when the music came in. It pretty much is. But I like how I feel like that moment he could have pushed his voice and done some crazy high notes, done like a soul diva-esque riff, like he could have done something, but I like how he didn't. I love how he kept it a little bit more down here. He kept it more level, and I think that the romanticism that he's clearly talking about shines through in a really great way. This was a really awesome track from the album thus far. I love those pauses, though. This one. Violin's a great touch. Where's that first? Here. Hold on. Look how long he holds it. Almost sounds like Mellotron.
I love so much to look into your
See?
eyes.
He holds it for a while. I think that just makes it. That makes it more interesting to listen to. Okay. Next track, Friendship. Almost some flamenco-esque guitar there. You can move to these tracks.
Each time when you, my friend, caress me with your sincere and warming gaze, it seems the sky declares expressly love for the earth in streams of sunshine rays. In times of joy, in times of sadness, the sparks of laughter, the gleam of tears, this magic world, despite its madness, I want to share with you for many years. Without words of love or passion, we know each moment that we live, that our tenderness and friendship gives us more warmth than love can ever give. In times of joy, in times of sadness, the sparks of laughter, the gleam of tears, this magic world, despite its madness, I want to share with you for many years.
See a dance to this.
In times of joy, in times of sadness, the the sparks of laughter, the gleam of tears. This
Good run.
magic world with all its madness, I want to share with you for many years.
Yep. Okay. I feel like Almond's starting to let loose a little bit vocally, not pushing range, but he's working. He's working within what he has, and he's working that. He's kneading that dough a little bit. His vocals, he's pulling it off. He's putting more into it in these particular moments here. He put in a little, he put a little bit of a shaker in there. Okay. Once again, the movement of this thing. I love the opening, which has almost this flamenco-esque kind of guitar. You know, you have the bayonet once again here featured. And I love how it gives that little ba, 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 ba. It has that little change in rhythm, and then like you're stuck in it. You're dancing in this one. And I feel like this is a very danceable track. Also, like the intro, get that, and then listen to the startup. You're moving like clockwork on that. And then just within the space of that, Almond is allowed to do his thing. And when I'm listening to Almond singing here, you know what it made me think of that I forgot to mention in the previous track, but now that we're here, I'm kind of thinking about it again. He maneuvers vocally like a dancer on the stage. I feel like he probably has this really incredible stage presence and way of acting and performing the music. He's not just singing it. I feel like he's performing it. And I think that comes through really nice throughout the album so far. And, you know, on tracks like this, I think that this music lends itself very well to his style. And he sounds really great in here.
Despite its
Love the strings, the violin coming behind him. I feel like he was a stage kid, or a drama kid, because he just has that. I don't know. There's just something about him. I'm curious. Where's early life? Born in Southport, Sefton. He was brought up with his grandparents. I want to know, school. Okay, found solace in music, listening to radio pioneer John Peel. Okay, first albums he purchased were the soundtrack of the stage musical Hair and Benefit by Jethro Tull. I gotta say. That's a great pairing. And the first singles were Green Monalishi by Fleetwood Mac and Witch's Promise. That's a good track from Jethro Tull. He was a great fan of Mark Bolan, David Bowie. Got a part-time job as a stable boy to fund his music listening. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty on it. Applied to Leeds Polytechnic, where he was interviewed by Jen Natal. Also a performance artist who accepted him on the strength of his own performing skills. During his time at art college, he did a series of performance theater pieces, Zazu, Glamour and Squalor, Twilights, and Lowlifes, as well as Andy Warhol-inspired mini-movies. Well, yeah, let's give me one of these.
Please clap.
I got it. Yeah, you can tell that he just, he's a theater kid. You can hear it in the way he performs. As an adolescent, he listened to Radio Carlin. He listened to his first progressive music, blues, rock bands such as Free, Jethro Tull, Van der Graaf Generator, The Who, Doors. He was in it. He was hitting the good stuff. He was hitting veins of musical gold. And I did find lyrics to this one. When an open, tender gaze you cast at me. And of course, the translation here is not going to be exact to the Russian and may not be, of course, and is not, of course, exactly what we heard, but it's close enough. When an open, tender gaze you cast me, caressing lovingly my friend, a wondrous pattern lights up around us, illumining the skies and all the land. A joyful time and a time of sadness I want to share with you, my friend. Let us embrace each other lightly and start our journey through the years ahead. We are so close, no words are needed to reconfirm our strong resolve, to prove that our sweet, tender friendship eclipses passion and romantic love. A joyful time again, and will find us. You will return, and on that day, we'll make a promise to each other. Let's stay together always, all the way. A joyful time and a time of sadness I want to share with you, my friend. Let us embrace each other tightly and start our journey through the years ahead. Can I tell you, I like how there's no question that this is just about a friendship. Even says, to prove that our sweet tender friendship eclipses passion and romantic love. We're in like best friends. This is a song for the besties. And I really like, being friend zoned apparently isn't so bad. Like, this is just a good song between friends. I like that. You don't get a lot of songs. Correct me if I'm wrong. You don't get a lot of songs that are just like, yeah, this is my best friend. Like, I love this person. Yeah, they're just my friend. It's not romantic love. It's not familial love. It's just a cool person. I like that. Let's move on to the next track here, Pearly Night. You can't not move a little bit every time the music starts. See if I have lyrics for this one.
Pearly night, early moon, pouring silvery light on the dark of the river, unmoving and quiet. Sleepy grove, drowsy crowns of the emerald trees. Not a nightingale sings in their whispering breeze. I'm remembering you, my dear friend, my sweet friend, in the nonchalant moonlight of this foreign land. Without you is the night full of sadness unsaid. The moonlight and the river are breathless and dead.
It's very poetic. I don't know why this reminds me of The Godfather.
Please come back and once more smile at me like before, and again like in spring will the nightingale sing.
Like in spring.
And again
I like that.
velvety waves, and the night will be bright as the sunniest days.
I really like that moment near the end where he held it just a little bit longer and once again kind of held us in that particular sway. He held us in his hand for a moment, and you're kind of holding your breath, listening. And you're like, when they're going to come back down? When are they going to come back down? It's like they throw a ball up in the air and you're like, when is it coming back down? When is it coming down? And I thought that was such a cool moment. And I love that. I'm assuming it's guitar playing that, like that very fast, highest note kind of playing. You heard a lot of the music, like this or Italian music and such. And I think that that's such a cool sound, and it works really well here in kind of providing this very interesting sort of construct of melody for Almond to kind of play around, because, that kind of comes in every few measures or so. And then he just kind of waltzes his way around it in between it. You have a little clarinet that shows up here as well. Like, there's a really cool instrumentation that's taking place throughout all of these tracks. Sometimes you have that accordion-like sound. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you have a little bit more of a jazzy sound. Sometimes you don't. There's a good variety throughout the album so far. But at the same time, kind of like I said at the very beginning, there's a nice continuity between everything and the way that it all transitions together. Where was that moment? Let's just build it up to it.
And the night will be bright as the
And it's so unexpected. See, it holds it. And it's just a little extra. It's not like it's a crazy long time like in the previous track with, it's just a little extra, but that little extra makes you wonder, like, where are we going from here? What's happening? Good stuff is happening. That's what's happening. Unfortunately, this was one that I could not find lyrics for as I pulled up. I as you saw before, I have like this translation site with a lot of Kozin's music in it, but it doesn't have, as far as I can tell, all his music, and it doesn't. It's confusing. It's confusing when I have it pulled up because it's in Russian and I got to translate it. And I have to try and like figure out, okay, is the translation of the title it's giving me, is that what we actually have? It's, blah, 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 blah. But I could not find this one. So move on we shall to Brave Boy. This is the party song you put on at a party. This sounds like it.
With your smile, with your face, with your friendly, graceful ways, lips that girls would dream of kissing. But
He's doing it again.
There's something missing. Brave boy, you are fine in every way. Brave boy. Hey. Nothing is a greater joy than to be around that boy. Eyes like jewels, hair like silk, skin like velvet, teeth like milk. Look at him dream of kissing, but it seems there's something missing. Brave boy, you are fine in every way.
I like the drumming. And the guitar, of course.
What the boy is missing are not good looks or gallantry, manners or civility, valor or agility. What his bravery but lacks are two frontline shoulder straps. Brave boy, you are fine in every way. Brave boy!
This is the wedding jam like of a song. It's such a snappy melody too.
What his bravery but lacks are two frontline shoulder straps. Brave boy, and a gun upon his back. Brave boy!
Okay. Fantastic. I like how this right now feels like the most maybe contemporary song out of all of them so far. Like the drum groove, I love that. Who did I say the drummer was? I want to make sure I get their name correctly. That's going to be Evgeny Kudryashov. Sorry if I mispronounced anything. Really great drumming here, and I feel like this track can be like the party song of the album so far. It's the most upbeat. It's the most straightforward relatively in musical adventure and like where everything's going and heading towards. And I feel like the way that Almond's singing here just has that coolness. Like there's a cool kind of slice of cool pie that he's singing within his mouth on here. And I think it comes across really well. I like the guitar playing also, which we have several guitars, so I'm not quite sure who's performing that. But I love how we get a cool lead here in the beginning before Almond even comes through. And we get a little solo. Got the buy-in again. Here. I like how we get a little guitar to start us off.
Every way,
And it's playing throughout, and it comes through in some nice ways throughout before there. And the way that Almond sings, there's a little bit of like a seductivity to it. There's a little bit of this like, oh, you know? Now, okay, so I couldn't find lyrics for this one. However, he's clearly singing about this boy he's looking at, and I'm feeling like there's a little bit of like, you know, an attraction there. Curious, I know we read a little bit in the beginning that he was imprisoned for homosexuality. So I don't know anything about Vadim Kozin, so I'm curious how he wrote this song, which, you know, I don't have the lyrics in front of me from what I could hear. Seems like he's, you know, really attracted to this other guy. How, I guess, how did he release his music, or did he keep it secret? Like, so I'm gonna click on his article here real quick. Let's see if we can figure some things out. Okay, about Mr. Kozin here. Let's see. He was born as son of a merchant. Mother was Romani heritage, often sang in the local gypsy choir. Their house was frequently full of musicians. Okay, he began to sing professionally in the 20s. There is a 20s kind of sound to his this sound here, I suppose. Now I'm thinking about that. And gained success almost immediately. Kozin was an openly homosexual man until 1934, when male homosexuality became a crime in the USSR. Okay, so that's I'm assuming that's why. So perhaps when this song was written, I guess it wasn't a crime, and then it became a crime. Interesting. That says when male homosexuality became a crime. Just think that's interesting. Okay, during World War II, he served in the entertainment brigade and sang for Soviet troops. So did he basically just have to go into hiding, I suppose? In 1944, the police chief, Lavrentiy Beria, called him up and asked why his songs didn't involve Stalin. Kozin famously replied that songs about Stalin were not suited for tenor voices. In late 1944, Kozin was sentenced to 5 years in jail as part of the repression campaign against prominent Soviet performers, and was sent to the Magadan labor camps because of his homosexuality. He was initially released in 1950, was able to return to his singing career. Though released once again several years later, he was never officially exonerated and remained in exile in the Spa Magadan, as he called it, until his death. Speaking of journalists, I'm just curious now. I'm just reading information. I'm just curious about his life now. He explained how he had been forced to tour the Kolyma camps. The Politburo formed brigades which would, under surveillance, go on tours of the concentration camps and perform for the prisoners and the guards, including those of the highest rank. His prison sentence deeply traumatized him, leading to the cessation of his singing career. He even began burning his own records. Wow. The Soviet government never officially rehabilitated him, and his 90th birthday was celebrated in private amongst friends in Magadan. Wow. What a incredibly tough life there. In 1993, while being interviewed, he recalled how he was released from exile temporarily, flown into Yalta for a few hours because Winston Churchill, a big fan of his, unaware of Kozin's forced exile, had asked Stalin for the famous singer to perform during a break in the Yalta conference. So he got a little break, but Churchill didn't even know that he was in exile. This is really interesting. He died at 91 in 1994. Wow. I was just curious about, you know, obviously the context and, you know, how he could write a song like that. That to me, unless I'm mishearing it, like seems very openly, you know, attractive to someone of the same sex. And I feel, and knowing the whole Gulag situation, how that whole came thing about, really interesting. That I like learning like how there's such a deep history behind him, and then having a little bit of that context now with his music. There's not a lot of information I could find here. Like, when did he write perhaps like a majority of this music that we're covering? I mean, it would have to be before his imprisonment. Huh. I'm trying to put things together. I want more information now that we're getting into this. But for now, let's move on to the next track here, which is Day and Night. That's not scary.
Day and night, marching mounds in foreign lands. Day and night, endless sands of foreign lands, and only dust, and the clatter of the boots. There's no rest at war for a soldier. My friend, forget me. Don't you recall my name? I lost hope we will ever meet again. And only dust, 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 and the clatter of the boots. There's no rest at war for a soldier. Count, 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 count. Are there any bullets left? Fight, sleep, fight, slow. Death is hiding right and left. And only dust, 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 and the clatter of the boots. There's no rest at war for a soldier. Day and night, marching miles in foreign lands. Lord, I don't fear the pain, just don't let me go insane. And only dust, 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 and the clatter of the boots. There's no rest at war for a soldier.
What a different side of the music here.
Every day, my home, sweet home, now so many worlds away. And only dust, 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 and the clatter of the boots. There's no rest at war for a soldier. Lie, 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 that I'm fighting for the truth. I know war will crush my soul and burn my youth. And only dust, dust, dust from 1,000 clattering boots will bury the memory of the soldier.
What a perfectly poignant and hard-hitting song at this point. Okay, because up to this moment, I'm kind of thinking, and feeling, of course, with a lot of the lyrics and the music here, it's been very romantic and danceable, fun, theatrical. Like, we're just having a good old time sitting here. And then in the midst of this, in the middle of the album, in the middle of the night here, we have just marching boots. And then the piano starts playing just bum, 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 bum. And it's just like a harrowing kind of sound. Okay, marching boots. Okay, we're in the army now, or some approaching army or something. And then the music takes place. Almond starts singing. And the way he sings, he almost sounds like he's rushing through his lines. It almost sounds like he's slightly breathless. And he's running out of breath, as if like he's been running, perhaps running away from some impending army. Like, it just feels like there's a clear anxiety happening here. There's a tense situation. And take the piano, obviously you have the chorus, bam, 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 but then you have that ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. That melody is kind of insane. Like, there's something very mental to that melody, and the way it plays, it's almost torturous. Like, it sounds off. There's something uncanny about that melody. And of course, when you put it in a situation like this, it just sounds even more odd. And obviously the lyrics, I don't have them, but you can hear them. Life. Just hoping that if you don't die, you don't go insane. And the soldiers, the life of a soldier, and the harshness of it, the realities. I think that at this point in the album, this is such a breath of fresh air. Isn't necessarily the word or the phrase I'd like to use. However, it does kind of, you know what I mean. Like, this is a cool twist in the album at this point, and kind of a hard-hitting one. I think that that's really fantastic. And it almost has this this melody, like, I don't know the actual name of the kids' rhyme or the kids' song, but the ants are marching down, down, because it has that marching pattern to it. There's almost something like that to it, but of course the seriousness of the subject pervades it very, very nicely. And it's very stiff as well. Very, very stiff.
Death, death, death,
Yeah,
death,
like,
my companion every day. My home, sweet home, now so many me words.
Doesn't he sing almost in this breathless way, like he's running out of air and he's just... And I like how, once again, the drama comes through here, but it's not like he's overacting. It's not like he has turned on some switch as opposed to the previous tracks. No, it's still very much done in his kind of more grounded version of theater, but nonetheless hard-hitting. It's a really, really fantastic track, and just an unexpected surprise in a way at this point in the album. Okay, a skein of white cranes is the next track. What's that word? Skein.
Skein.
Skein. Well, here it says it's a length of yarn, thread, or string wound into a loose oblong coil. A skein. Okay, so this track is called A Skein of White Cranes. Maybe it's also like a murder of crows. Back to that romantic swing of things. It does kind of carry the sadness from the previous track. Okay, so when I looked up, when I had this, I've already forgotten how to say it. Skein?
Skein.
Yeah, it was skein. When I had that pulled up, it did say that it's also used to describe the V-shaped formation that, geese and such will use. So that's what's being, what that's about, a skein of white cranes. And this one actually really nicely continues that thread from the previous track, which the previous one, of course, was very tragic and warlike in its sound, but this one carries a little bit of a sadness to it. It has a deep sense of sadness. I couldn't quite tell exactly from the lyrics, but it sounded like kind of a, for lack of a better word, I'm missing you kind of song. And I like the imagery that he describes in the leaf stuck on the glass, and the wet leaf stuck on the glass with an L. It's just like a very simple imagery that is very evocative, I think. And I think that idea of missing someone and hopefully I'll see you again really comes through in this track because of the melodramatic sound of the music behind it. You once again hear there's probably a term for that kind of playing, but I just don't know what it is. you have that and the very slow paced drawl of the music, which, like I said, makes it very melodramatic, a little bit sad, and perhaps even slightly surreal with the way that moves into this from the previous track. With the previous one, I'm going to pull it back day and night again here. Like, after the music and the drama, almost gunfire vocally, you have the fade out of the marching of the troops. And then when Skane comes back in, it sounds sad and like it's almost turning the page and coming off of like an interlude or an intermission. And it's a slow coming back. But I think that it fills the gap really nicely and still carries a weight to it. I think that there's just still a weight here. It's not like we jumped back into it and it was like some very happy, positive, dancey song or anything. This was, more thoughtful, I think, in here. Fortunately, I didn't have lyrics for this one as well. Most of this I don't have lyrics for, unfortunately. Let's move on to the next track here, which is Beggar.
Long winter blizzard, heavy snowfall. The wind is blowing, stinging cold. By the church entrance at the stone wall, a woman stands alone and old. She's in rags that barely cover her outstretched and trembling arms, barefoot in winter and in summer. So please have mercy, give her arms. So please have mercy, give her arms.
A little something.
Now I shall tell you how this beggar lived only 20 years ago. Young poets found her beauty staggering, her fame twined laurel wreaths for her. She sang on stage and Paris standing, acclaimed her talent and her charm. Her pure voice was outstanding. So please have mercy, give her arms.
I like that.
So please have mercy, give her arms. Each time she ended her performance, the crowds wouldn't let her pass. They shouted bravo in her honor. They drank her health from sparkling glass.
Good time.
How many compliments and praises she got from her adoring friends. When we're in glory, friends embrace us. When we're in need, their friendship ends. When we're in need, their friendship ends.
That's a great line.
Back then, no one would have predicted grave illness knocked her off her feet. She lost her voice, got blind and crippled, became a beggar in the street. When she was famous, poor vagrants would beg of her without qualms. But she now feels ashamed to beg you. So please have mercy, give her arms. So please have mercy, give her arms.
That was, I think, an incredibly well-written, well-performed, well-written, again, song. It's, okay, we got a simple one here. Vocals and piano. Where does the emotion come from? First of all, I love how low and down to earth Almond's singing. He's singing from the lowliest of places in a very humble and kind of place. And he's saying about this beggar. Okay, we see the beggar. He paints the scene. It's a snowy day. We see the beggar there. She's in rags, barely covering her. She's in a bad place. And Almond begs us, the audience, to give her alms, to pay her attention, to give her something. Okay, got it. Nice. And it's just a little stately piano to drive the affair. Then he takes us further and he takes us back. He describes who she is. She's not just a homeless person on the side of the street. She's more than that. And I've mentioned it in many, many times before with different tracks. And I love when an artist describes a person who in the day-to-day, maybe we pass by and we don't think a thing of them. But people have lives. Like, people have lives, and this person that you see that you may not pay attention to has a life of their own, a family of their own, ups and downs. They were a baby once. Like, they have a life. So I love when we get that insight. And so he takes us to her glory days when she was a singer and, playing shows, and people would drink glasses to her health. And it was just a great time. She was the heart of the life there. And then what happened to her? Nothing of her own doing. He says she got sick. She got sick and she couldn't afford anything. She couldn't perform anymore. Couldn't do anything. And so now she's begging in the streets. And that's something so realistic. Health issues, health concerns cause someone to lose their dream, their way of making money. And then they end up in dire straits. I just think that way that it's written was really, really well done. And how Marc sings is so respectful as well. And I think that's the situation is all too common and all too tragic. This was a really, really awesome track. And I didn't mention it, but when he goes back in time, describes her singing career and such, the piano livens up and becomes bright and energetic. And, then it comes back down to the sullen and present reality. That was a fantastic one. Really, really awesome track. Let's continue with When Youth Becomes a Memory. I gotta figure out what that sound's called. It must have a name.
Than the last, you will not dream the crazy dreams the way you dreamt them in the past. The crazy dreams will not come true. The daring plans will all fall through when youth becomes a memory. Love shines a different light in you, but what your life bestows on you, those nights as long as gypsy tales, they are as precious as before, still full of singing nightingales, still breathing with inspiring gales that call at dawn to set your sails. And as before, it seems to you your true love's beauty never pales. Do not be sad to see your hair begin to shimmer silver rhyme, your true love's eyes so warm and fair retain their fearless youthful shine.
Just keep that
some crazy dreams may not come true, some daring plans may just fall through when youth becomes a memory. Love burns a stronger flame in you.
Makes you stronger. Hold on to things more.
Some crazy dreams may not come true. Some daring plans, let them fall through. When youth becomes a memory, love shines a different light in you.
Okay. One, like I said, really got to figure out what the name is for those quick pickings. I know there's a name for that technique. There has to be. Once again, this takes on that slower swing, that slow, more methodical feel of everything, and allows Marc to kind of express this sense of drama in the way that he invokes things, in the way that he calls to mind certain feelings and emotions. And here, I love how, already with the title, When Youth Becomes a Memory. Okay, so we're talking about older age and past the, I don't know when youth is considered, but past youth. Whatever that might be. And I like how lyrically, it's such a strong performance, and delivery-wise as well from Almond, in the way that it really feels like he's inspiring. This doesn't just feel like he's singing about, being of an older age and being happy with it. It doesn't sound like it's just blasé in his approach. He sounds like he's truly singing to that particular audience. Can I say us? My youth is kind of past me, I suppose. Or maybe it's right on me. I don't know. But he's singing to an older group and saying, whether you're older in 20s, 30s, 40s, 60s, 70s, whatever range of older you are, enjoy it. It may not be exactly what you had a decade ago, but it's what you have. And you do have something, and you can use that to, as he says, kind of burn brighter. I can't remember the exact line, but he said something along the lines of, basically that, like, you are going to burn hotter and brighter than you would have basically a decade ago. And I just really like the way that he writes that, because it's done in such a respectful and, in my opinion, a motivational kind of way. There's an inspiration, not only to the way that he feels, but also what he's delivering to us as well. And it comes through really nicely in a track like this. That's it. I didn't have any lyrics to this one. So let's move forward into the next track, which is Autumn. That feels like autumn. You see the falling leaves and such. I do have lyrics for this one, actually.
It's been a while that we were last together.
Maybe not,
And
actually.
you, while waiting for some news in vain, will whisper wistfully, we wonder whether we'll ever see our poor friend again. Do not believe if someone says he's somewhere in a severe and heathen no man's land, where even summertime is not like summer, and cold year round that only bears can stand.
Only bears can stand.
Do not believe that this long time and distance made me forget about you, my dear friends, that I drag out a miserable existence without aspirations, dreams, and plans. Do not believe all these malicious rumors about the land of shame and bears and snow. And if you hear them, take them with good humor. The tellers are the people who would know why found.
Kick me up to this.
The lights of the construction sites are blazing. New towns and cities growing all around. It seems to us these days that we are living to Moscow closer than before and share all things with you. Creating, building, breathing the same as you, refreshing Moscow air. That's how we live on what was here before us has long since become history, my friends.
That was a very full song in the sense that it had almost like these movements in how it was created and constructed in the way that it just moved from one section to the next. And okay, I thought I had lyrics because, okay, hear me out. Here's where I am. You guys can see it. Like, right, I got this website here. Has Vadim's, lyrics for some of his songs here. They're all in Russian. I got to do one of these translates here. And you see the translation. The song we listened to is Autumn. Well, I see Autumn right here. But when I do the translation, apparently it's a completely different song because this isn't even close to what we listened to. However, so I misspoke. I thought I had lyrics, but I don't for this one. So this sounds, from what I could tell from the lyrics and listening to it, that it sounds like kind of an ode to Moscow and to Russia and such. And I really like the lines of kind of how he ends and how he throughout. He's paying an ode to not only Moscow, as he mentions there at the very end, in the present at that time, but also just to the land, just to the nature of it, even before Moscow was around. And so it's really cool how we kind of get this, a deeper dive than just, hey, this is a beautiful place and really like it here. Here's a song to honor you, but going beyond that and digging in the dirt before the first foundations of the city were laid. And I really like how that comes across here in the music, because even the way that Almond sings, it sounds like this beautifully romantic, not in a romantic love way, but in a romantic honor of like, wow, this place is so beautiful. And, I love this about it. I love this about it. And it just feels like a really sweet ode to Moscow and to the city, It's a beautifully and poetic national track here. And I really got to figure out what that's called. But I like the way it swings in a really beautiful way, and it's emotional and uplifting. And of course, different from the melodramatic, perhaps, swinging we would have of some previous songs. But it really works well in the sweetness that he sings here. Let's Google Autumn in Moscow. It actually sounds like it would be a song title. It's incredibly beautiful there. And some of the lines he said, like the weather basically is not warm like pretty much ever, and it's so cold that only bears can stand it. Like there's moments of like comedy and levity. Okay, Moscow in autumn looks absolutely gorgeous, and it sounds like that does sound like an album title or a song title. Look at that, man. That looks stunning. Let us go ahead and move into the final track here on the album, which is going to be Letter from Magadan. Perhaps while he's in exile, he'll get a letter. Interesting upbeat track to end.
Autumnal crystalline morning, sky somewhat languid and misty. There in the shimmering distance, sun looks so cold and so far away. Where is our very first meeting? Passionate, poignant, delirious.
Always one time.
Don't go away. I beg you, please don't leave me.
Yeah.
The words of love I will repeat anew. They say that autumn's come, and though I now believe it, it doesn't count as long as I have you. Our little place will never be too quiet. When you are there, there seems eternal spring. So please don't go. So many songs have not been sung yet. The voice of life still rings in every guitar string.
I love the very old production on those strings there. That's such an archival sound.
Our little place will never be too quiet. When you are there, there seems eternal spring. So please don't go. So many songs have not been sung yet. The voice of life still rings in every guitar string.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Marc Almond, Orpheus in Exile, songs of Vadim Kozin, rather. And I love how we end the album with something more upbeat, but just as poetically beautiful in lyricism as we've gotten, like with Autumn here just a second ago. And I like how he says, in these guitar strings, basically lie my feelings, my emotions, my passions for this other person. And I like that. I like the way he says that. And also still, the track is called Letter from Magadan, right? Okay, well, you were walking down the boulevard of Magadan before. And so I feel like there's a connection in the book ending of this album. In the beginning, we're walking down the boulevard. But now, perhaps because he's in exile, perhaps he can only send letters. Was he allowed to send letters? I don't know. But it's still communicating, just in a different way. Just as he mentions, like through the guitar strings, through the wire. And so I really like that kind of poetic way that he describes that and says that. And the music here, swings. The really cool thing is those strings. The production on it is like, now we know that he recorded in the 20s. It sounds like the 20s. It has that very old school, capturing the audio in such a particular way, and has that old, I don't know how you describe it, that sound that sounds like you could almost blow the dust off of that. It's like archival. But I love how that adds almost a time stamp to the music. It almost feels like we're listening to something that was in a time capsule, which is kind of cool because the rest of the music sounds modern, in its production. But it's just that one aspect that sounds a little bit older. And I think that that's really cool how that was included in the music here. And I'm curious, that particular sound, is that a recording maybe from the original as performed by Kozin or something that was like bringing a little bit of the past into the present at this moment when the album was released, even more so than just Almond covering Kozin's music, actually bringing a piece of that music back. I think that if that's the case, that was done incredibly well and was such a cool little nugget here at the end of the album to include. Well, that is the end. We already went through a lot of the information about Kozin himself. Orpheus in Exile is an album of cover versions, of course, as we mentioned. According to an article in the Russian magazine New Style, the album was self-financed by Almond and recorded in Russia using Russian musicians. As we mentioned, this album is in the Russian traditional music and Russian romance style as well. The first edition of the album included an essay by Almond giving extensive background information on Kozin's life. See, like, Almond wouldn't have done all that and covered obviously what I'm going to say is obvious, but he wouldn't have done so much if he didn't have a deep musical inspiration or wasn't affected deeply by Kozin and his music. This was a really, really great album, and can I tell you, like, it was a pleasant surprise listening to this. I don't know what I expected. I don't know why the album cover made me think I was going to get something magma-esque and kind of stiff, and like, I don't know. Not what we got. Not at all what we received. Favorite tracks on the album? I really like I Love You. I Love So Much to Look in Your Eyes. Really like that track. Day and Night came out of nowhere. Day and Night is like just a powerful song. So is Beggar. Oh, if I had to choose one, I think that I Love So Much to Look in Your Eyes. But I don't think there's an ounce of weak material on this album. And I think the strength of Beggar and Day and Night is really apparent and really at the forefront. But it's a really fantastic one all around in every respect. There's nothing at all negative I could even toss its way. This was a great listen. You guys let me know what you thought down below in the comments section. As always, I appreciate you being here. Andreas, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you so much for sending over the request and for the support. I truly appreciate that. This is a fantastic listen. I enjoyed my time with it, and I hope that you guys did as well. Please come on back next time. You never know what we're doing, but we're doing something. And I will see you that next time. Bye, guys.